Well, hello there and welcome to the channel. And if you are a regular viewer, then you may well know that I like to keep my eye on the legacy media for any interesting articles that come through. And today one has indeed come through, and it's from the lovely Monty Don. This article is about 3 plants that you should cut now to ensure maximum blooms the following year. Don't clap. This article is one of the worst articles that have come up so far. It is so full of mistakes. It is absolutely unbelievable. But the thing is, it wasn't written by Monty Don, no, because if he wrote it, it would be correct. It was written by, and I quote, Angela Pruning and Ron Preston Ellis. 2 excellent posh names, but flipping heck, you are awful gardening writers. Let's get on with it. Let's get on with the big problem. It isn't even 3 plants. It isn't even 3 plants. And half the ones they talk about, they don't even mention later on in the video. What the hell is going on? I despair. I absolutely despair about the future of the horticultural industry. Come on, let's start with it. I don't blame people for their mistakes, but I do ask they pay for them. Thank you. Now, whenever we start talking about pruning, we always have to do the same old list, and that is you always remove dead, diseased, dying, crossing or rubbing branches. And always make sure that your blades are sterilised first. Get a little bit of disinfectant on a cloth, wipe it down, and then don't forget to wash that off with some water, and then you'll be ready to go. Anyway, the first one, wisteria. It says, Monty Don says, cut back your wisteria now in summer to ensure these better blooms in the spring. But be honest with you, it is only June. It is only June. We still got wisteria flowering right up until the end of this month. So July is a better time for this, but we won't worry about that. Anyway, I've got a quote for you. I've got a quote for you from the great man himself. The best time to prune all this year's new growth back to a spur, leaving no more than 6 inches of growth. I know I can't do the voice. I didn't go to Magdalen College. Now, let's be honest, there is not a lot of information there. So I'll go into a bit more detail. Now, for those who are interested, a wisteria leaf is a pinnately compound leaf. So that's for you botany lovers out there. So once it's finished flowering, the plant is now going to divert its energy into 2 things. It's going to be producing those large seed pods. It's also going to be producing these new extending stems, very whippy, very loose. Happily grow into your roof space or windows or doors. They're a bit of a pain, really. So what you do at this time of year, July, it's a bit early in June, then you would cut back those whippy stems. So you've got about 6 of these compoundly pinnate leaves left on the stem. That's all you do. You just cut them back. You leave about 6 leaves on the stem. Job done. Well, unless you've got a really big specimen, then you could be there forever. But that's it. That's all you had to say. Oh, hold on a minute. If you're finding this video useful or even just mildly amusing, then don't forget to click the thumbs up, press on that subscription, and if you want to be notified of whenever we release a new video, then click on that notification bell. It helps us more than you know, and it allows us to do stupid visits like this in the future. Anyway, let's continue to find out what old boiled butt has to say. Bloody glasses back on. Too hot, too sunny. It's too lovely. Now, as you read further into the article, the so-called second plant is actually all spring flowering plants. So God knows how many that is if you do a proper inventory of it. So we're going to stick to the obvious ones. So we're looking at things like Forsythia, ribes, camellias, rhododendrons, philadelphus, syringa, which is your lilacs. All these plants. So that title of cut these 3 plants back is just nonsensical, doesn't make any sense. And of course you can't just cut all these early spring flowering plants now, because you're going to give yourself some problems later on. You will be absolutely fine cutting back your ribes and forsythia, although you should have done that immediately after flowering about a month or so ago. Philadelphus, they're about to finish flowering, so if you are talking about June, then yeah, you probably can do that. By the end of June they're probably finished flowering. You want to cut those back. The reason why we're cutting these back is because these early flowering spring shrubs flower on the previous season's wood. So all the wood you cut now, you will get new invigorated growth, and that growth will be where next year's flowers are going to bloom. So it's an important job to do. But certain plants, like your camellias, like your rhododendrons, speak clearly, boy, it is way too late to start cutting these now. Once again, these should be cut immediately after flowering, because as soon as the new growth comes out from those cuts, the flower buds are already forming on it. So this would have been a month or 2 ago. So you cut now and you're removing next year's wood that has the flower buds on it, not producing new wood for flower buds. It's just wrong on so many levels. Look, let me show you to make it clearer. So this is a dwarf rhododendron. It's already flowered and it's put out its new growth, and inside that new growth there is next year's flowering bud. So you can't cut this now, because you'll be removing this bud for next year. And the same goes for this early flowering camellia. It's finished flowering, it's put out its new growth, and in that new growth right here is next spring's new flowering bud. It's going to take about 10 months to get big enough before it blooms. So if you cut this wood off here, no flowers for new next year. But I'll tell you what will help you even more is I do have another quote from the lovely Monty Don. Don't worry, I'll be over soon. This will give the new growth plenty of time to ripen before winter, and thus, who says thus? Thus bear maximum flowers next spring. Hold your horses. Before I move on to the next part of this video, I just want to reinforce the reasons why we are cutting back these wisteria. There are 3 reasons, at least in my mind. The first is to keep these plants in a manageable size. The second is with mature established plants, these whippy new lengths of growth, they can cause havoc. They can be in your soffits, in your guttering, in your roof space, pulling out tiles. You know, they can cause some real damage. So again, it's a good reason why you got to cut this back. And the final reason is because this cutting back to these 6 leaves, it encourages the plant to produce flowering buds over foliage bud or new stem growth. So hopefully you get all that straight, your house will be in good order, you won't have a leafy mess, and also you get better blooms in the spring. Right, now let's get on with the next part. Now this third plant that is listed in this article is giving me problems. I'm struggling to get my head around it. Right, so this last plant to cut in order to get enormous flowers for next year is apples, pears, dessert grapes. That's 3 plants and not 1 plant. It doesn't make good English. None of these cuts cut now are to do with next year's flowers, and they don't even talk about the grapes. The grapes aren't even listed in the article. I don't understand it. I am very confused, probably more angry than I should be. Let's take a break with another quote from the amazingly dulcet-toned Monty Don. Last one, I promise. Reduce each cluster on its bird to just 2 fruits that are not touching each other. See what I said? It had nothing to do with the flowers. It was all about trying to improve your fruity crop. I mean, what are these people talking about? And I understand why you would do that. If you've got a young tree, this is specifically a problem with 2-3-year-old plants that you've had in the ground. They're not very strong. They've been brought into fruit and flower early through the graft on the stem, and as such the branch work of the tree is not strong enough to cope with the weight of a rather large crop. It will just snap the branches and you'll really damage your tree. No good whatsoever. The best time to cut your apples and pear trees is in the winter when they're dormant. So you're looking at about December, January, not this time of year if you were interested. And grapes, well, let's have a look at the grapes and see if they're ready to have their fruits pruned out. I mean, the grapes, I mean, that is the stage that they are at the moment. I mean, you wouldn't be cutting these about right now, would you? Would you? I mean, surely you would do that later on. And once more, you wouldn't cut into the wood of your grapevines at this time of year because they are known to be heavy bleeders of sap, which can weaken and damage your plant. If you're going to prune back your grapevines, again, it's going to be in the winter, December, January time. I mean, for crying out loud, the gardening advice in this article, I mean, it's almost has criminal intent with it. I just don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. So there you go. That is Monty Don's 3 plants for you to cut now to get maximum flowers next year. It just doesn't, mate. It's just, what a horrible, horrible thing to read. It could have affected my brain. Anyway, if you've got any great advice, any plants that you feel you should be cutting now in June, then put that in the comments. We would love to hear from you, and for you to get the information out to the other viewers. I've got a fly up my nose. We'd like to see that. Anyway, before I go, don't forget to subscribe to the video. That way you'll almost be notified as to when we release a new video. But if you really want to be notified, press that notification button. That way it works every single time. It doesn't always work if you just subscribe, but it's all free. Anyway, click like. Thank you very much. See you in the next video. I'm gonna have a lie down now. Right, now, just before you go, if you want to see more content, more behind the scenes stuff, and images that I've taken of some weird freaky plants over the years, then you're in luck, because we have created an Instagram page. So you can find the link in our description. You can find the link on our main page, and if I'm clever enough, I might be able to get a link somewhere up there. Anyway, thank you for watching, and if you want to see more YouTube stuff, then check out this video here. That's quite a good one. And if it doesn't float your boat, then another one right there. And enjoy these while I've still got the strength, imagination and aptitude to make them. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.